Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Bits and bytes do connect our world, and we're talking everything tech news, not right here on Earth, but rather in outer space. More specifically, related to the UAE space sector, as we witnessed Sultan Al Neyadi's space mission actually being delayed by the Russian rescue effort. Now, the Emirati astronaut Sultan Al Neyadi was actually due to go into outer space on the 19th of February, but news have it that the mission will actually be pushed back to allow for 3 stranded astronauts to be brought back home. Now, if you're not well aware of what has been happening for the past 2 weeks when it comes to the Russian mission, it's kind of like a Hollywood movie that came into reality. We've seen 3 astronauts, 2 Russians and 1 American, being stuck in outer space. Their spacecraft actually malfunctioned, and there's no way for it to be brought back into Earth safely. And so for the longest time, we've actually witnessed that there's going to be a little bit of like a truly the plot of a Hollywood movie. They've had to choose who would survive, but now luckily we've seen a Russian space agency, the Russian space agency Rosmoscosmos, actually planning to send back a backup spacecraft, the Soyuz MS-23, on the 20th of February, which will dock at the International Space Station and bring back the crew to planet Earth 6 months later.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at how, Dr. Nayadi's Space Crew 6 mission will only launch after the Soyuz MS-23 has been sent into space. Now, we are looking at how NASA and the Roscosmos are adjusting the International Space Station flight plan after completing an investigation into a coolant leak. Now, that is one of the main reasons why these astronauts are stranded. Now, NASA still does have plans of having a direct handover between the Crew 5 and Crew 6 missions, and the U.S. Space Agency NASA was originally targeting February 19th to launch the Crew 6 mission, but that has now probably been pushed to late February. Now, we are looking at how Soyuz MS-23 was meant to be launched in March, but that spacecraft will now be used to rescue the Russian astronauts and obviously the American that is on board as well, Frank Rubio. And the craft the astronauts arrived on in September did suffer a coolant leak just last month that left it so badly damaged that it will need to be brought to Earth without a crew in autonomous mode. And Omni and I have been talking about it for the past week now on how these astronauts have been stranded with that coolant leak.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Al Neyadi is set to embark on the Arab world's first long-duration space mission that is actually planning to launch for about remain for about 6 months. This will be the first time we've seen any Arab astronaut actually be on board the International Space Station for this long. So definitely the excitement is in the air, and we'll keep you updated with everything that arises from the story. We'll be taking a very short break, but when we come back, we're talking about yet another rare event, more specifically a celestial event. A rare comet has actually been captured by astronomy centers right here in the UAE, and we're going to give you all the laydown on it in just a bit.